Hello everyone. I am getting ready to start the second rotation of my SRS Apocolypse, and it occurred to me that I'm having a hard time remembering some of the rules, and I did change some of the rules, the original rules, so I thought, you know what, let's just review the rules. It took me forever because I lost the sheet that had it all on it. I did find it, but it took me like over an hour, so phew, I'm relieved. But then I was reading over these and I'm like, you know what? Somebody somewhere might actually be interested in the rules that I'm following and, you know, the variations of which that I'm doing, because I have changed the rules to encompass 2 other challenges. Plus, these aren't the original rules. The original rules were written by Pinstar in Imagining Mystic in, Sims 2. They also wrote the rules for the Legacy Challenge. So the first Legacy Challenge was written by Pinstar. Okay, that is done. Now, the version of the Apocolypse Challenge rules I'm doing were ones that were changed from the original rules by Fenno. Okay, now in this rules, there is a set of mods that you can use to make things a lot easier when you're doing the Apocolypse, because there's so many items that you're not allowed to use. There's so many things that you're not allowed to do. So as you can see here, all of these items aren't purchasable at this time. So you can't buy plants, you can't buy wall decorations, you can't buy rugs. The only thing in sculptures is whatever that is in that picture. You see, so when you start, you're heavily restricted by the different things that you are allowed to have. And in this version, you're rebuilding the whole town as well. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that in my version, or, in roasted in, the SRS Apocolypse, because right now I do have, like, houses and all kinds of stuff there. But we'll figure it out. Okay, so we've got these rules, and another different thing about this is they are tiered. So you unlock certain things. Let me show you. Like, this is restriction level 1, hopelessness, military, education, medical, and security pet. And then you go on to 2. So you're not looking at it and choosing, like, I want to do culinary first, which I might have changed hers, because I did change some things. So this one, culinary, might be on the first one. It is. Okay, so in her restrictions level 1, it is culinary, medical, military, and security pet. And then 2 is architecture, business, education, intelligence, and journalism, law enforcement, life of crime, natural science, oceanography, politics, science, and service pet. Now, I made some of these changes because I'm also following some of the rule suggestions from Saijon's website. Now, you have to forgive me if I'm butchering these people's names. In my head, I have always said Fenno and Saijon. I have no idea if that's correct. See, this is what it looks like to me. Maybe I'm saying it completely wrong. I mean, maybe it's Sion, but Sion's spelled different than that, so I don't know. Anyway, that's how I'll pronounce it from now on. So there are some different suggested rule changes for the different things, and I followed a lot of these rule changes. So Like I said, education's normally a tier 1 thing. I'm lifting it first because in the Saijon's version, you are allowed to go to university right away. So that's why I have to unlock education. Okay, so let's just go over these rules and maybe some of the changes. So hopelessness is the extra lift that you can do. Normally, one sim is only allowed to lift one restriction. In the case of the first generation, whoever lifts the first career also lifts hopelessness. Now, normally that means that you can finally get married, but in my case, I've already started with the second sim. That's the way it is in Saijon's rules. So, like I said, I'm doing it a little bit different. Okay, so until we lift hopelessness, we cannot move in pets. I am a little confused. Am I allowed to have kids? But so I do need to read over everything for that. Family aspiration perks may not be redeemed. That's when you click on the little thing and you're allowed to purchase things like grandma's comfort soup and things like that. So I won't be able to get those aspiration perks. I believe at the very beginning, I'm not allowed to get any aspiration perks, period. So when I lift hopelessness, I'll be able to get family aspiration perks. That'll be the first one I'll be able to get. Okay, so military, that is what Emrys is working on. Sims may not travel to any community lots. No, you might have noticed when I was playing the last rotation that I was allowing some Sims to go to community lots. I have a military lot, and I also have a homeless shelter. The Sims that are allowed to go to those lots are the ones that are in the wagon caravan and the ones that are doing the various homeless challenges. So the rest of them won't be allowed to travel to community lots until military is lifted. You may not invite over any Sims with 2 exceptions. Sims may invite over Sims they have red hearts with or are engaged to. True love knows no fear. If your Sim owns a car and has it placed on a driveway on the lot, which we do, you may also invite Sims your Sim is best friends with. Your Sim spins by and picks the buddies up. You may purchase the military Maxis car after reaching level 6. I have no idea what that is. So I don't know why I even have that still in the rules. Teenage Sims may not sneak out. Sims may not walk off the lot. That's, you know, going to community lots. It's like the only way you walk off the lot, so I'm not sure. Anyway, may invite over playable Sims from directly adjacent properties. That's why I have the family members in the lots right next to the Apocolypse lot. You might notice that I have the different ones, mostly. The ones that aren't homeless are living in houses right next to that house. Okay, may invite over any paranormal Sim, vampire, werewolf, robot. Now, this is the reason that I decided to make servos. When I was doing the trailer park challenge, I was also playing the spares in a lot next door. Well, one of the spares married a woman who ended up doing the robotics hobby, and she made 8 servos. And it was reading this that made me decide to do that, because I thought, well, cool, we can have like servos walk in the neighborhoods and they're like special Sims, you know. Okay, anyway, Emrys's wife, Vanita, is doing the education career. Sims may not attend college. That's what we're trying to lift. Sims may not teach other Sims via career rewards. Knowledge aspiration perks may not be redeemed. So, okay, once I lift this, I'll also, in addition to family perks, I'll be able to get the knowledge perks. You may not change your Sim's aspirations in any way, but second secondary aspirations must be chosen on the teen birthday. I already do secondary aspirations on the teen birthday. That's like part of my thing that I do. You may not invite headmaster to get kids Sims into private school. My kids won't even be going to school when I lift education, because I'm doing that a little bit different, but we will be able to attend college. But college won't even be like it normally is. It's going to be different because it's going to go by the Apocolypse rules. Okay, medical will be another thing that we'll be able to lift in the first tier. Sims may not use medicine to become well. Sims may not redeem needs perks, with one exception. Children may redeem them upon their toddler to child birthday. Okay, so when we lift medical, we'll be able to have family perks. We'll have knowledge perks from education. And now we'll be able to get the needs perks, which means that they'll have less time between needing to take showers. I think eating is one of the perks that you can purchase, things like that. Whenever Sims woohoo, they must choose Try for Baby. If Try for Baby is not an option, they may not woohoo. Now, I have to, and I'm not sure if I've already done it, change autonomous casual romance to Try for Baby only. I'm not sure if I've done that or not. Sims may not purchase Vampirocillin D, Witch Be Gone, Lycanthropic B, or Plantophobic C. Those are things that the different NPCs in town sell or witches can make. And they cure, obviously, vampirism, being a witch, being a werewolf, or being a plant sim. So if you're one of those things, well, you're SOL until this is lifted. Until the medical restriction is lifted, all Sims, townies and playables, rise as zombies 95% of the time, or vampires 5% of the time, the day after they die. So if a Sim dies on day 27, they will rise on day 28. This gives people time to react to the death and roll up the zombie fear. Okay, so if I was doing a death roll, first of all, obviously I would know that that person dies, duh. And then on that same sheet with the death roll, it asks, or it tells me, will they rise as a zombie or a vampire? Now we're referring to adults here. All elders rise as zombies. All babies, toddlers, and children rise as vampires. And I believe teens is like a 50-50, but I'd have to look at my roll sheet to find out. Okay. All Sims must have pneumonia at all times. Use the Inseminator, which is a mod, to give them pneumonia. The player may use mods to allow non-autonomous sponge baths and to extend sponge baths to children. Okay, so I do have that mod that allows the non-autonomous sponge baths, and there is no way for children to do it other than that one sink that I found. So in lots that have children, I have that sink usually hidden somewhere in it so that the kids can sponge bathe. And security pet, which I feel like I was on the fence about changing security pet in another one of the pet lifts, and I never decided, but this is the one that was suggested, I believe. On the day security animals lifted, any beds may be sold and new higher energy beds bought to replace them, as long as they meet the maximum energy limitations, even if business is still restricted. So normally with business, I believe you're not allowed to sell anything. There's also athletic, which means that you can't move anything. So that's kind of a special rule change in that case. And that's only on that day that you lift that. And when I say day, it's like that year. So right now we're about to start year 42. So it would be each time that I play each of those households in the rotation, I would immediately go in, sell their beds. Now, I do have, and I believe it's part of the Benos mods, that I can buy, I believe, and I could be wrong, all of the different beds, but they all automatically have that, the lowest comfort value. I believe it's even applies to CC beds, but I could be wrong. I'm almost positive that it's this mod that does it. So really, I can buy any bed currently, and then when I lift Security Pet and I take that folder out of my mods, or that file out of my mods for Security Pet, I believe all of my beds would have whatever they should normally have. Okay, so Rebuilding Society is restriction level 2. Culinary, I believe I changed culinary some to go with Saijon's recommendations. He has some recommendations here. Again, I'm assuming the Saijon's a he. I shouldn't do that. Okay, culinary. Grilled cheese aspiration perks may not be redeemed. Sims may not talk about grilled cheese. Sims may not store leftovers in the fridge, in inventory, marked for sale, or in a display case. Now, in my videos, you might have noticed already, I have them like make the hot dogs and then they just like sit them on the counter. And if they do try to put it in the fridge, I'm like taking it back out of the fridge. That's why they're not allowed to put them in the fridge. I've even like locked them behind doors so that they can't get to them. Sims may not prepare food, purchase, or eat on community lots. I do have exception to that. I put the cafeteria lady in the 2 different lots that I currently have, and that is because I'm playing those lots with like homeless Sims, so I kind of need that. And you know, it just gives you a little realism. Originally, I was going to use the little thing that I have in my asylum, where it's like a cafeteria thing and they eat like mush. Well, I guess that's not available on community lots, so whatever. Small appliances are also restricted by science. You may not use the delivery menu to order pizza or Chinese food. We're also not allowed to use service Sims, period. So that's restricted by a different restriction. Sims may study cooking only if required by their job or college major, and only as many skill points as is required for the next promotion or current semester. They can't study ahead. Okay, architecture. You are not allowed to use any fancy architecture, roofing, fences, windows, doors, flooring, wall covering, stairs, columns, or awnings. You may not place or use the very mysterious shelving or the ceiling fan. I'm assuming that this is mentioned here because it's something that's not hidden by this mod that Fenno made. I could be wrong, but I don't know why else it would be mentioned there. May not build more than 2 floors above ground. There's ground level, next floor, flat roof. Oh, I closed that thing, didn't I? I was going to show her picture as a example. So, so ground floor, next floor, and then you can go on top of the flat roof. If you go on top of the flat roof, it should have an awning until you lift one of the other restrictions. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Let's see. Houses may not occupy any larger than an 8x8 area. The rest of the lot must be unused. You may not place any items outside of this 8x8 area. Driveway extension tiles do not need to follow this rule if the 8x8 area covers the vehicle. Oh, I guess I need to open this again. See how the 8x8 area covers the vehicle? Well, like in the case of my Apocolypse house, I do have a longer driveway. Now, you might have not noticed that my lots for the siblings that are doing the other challenges on the same street as the Apocolypse house, they are all 8x8 houses that I have there. Let's see. Items dropped off from dates and outings may remain outside the 8x8 area. If the items are moved, they must be placed in inventory or within the 8x8 area. Now, there is a rule somewhere, I don't know which one it is, that says that I can't even take those things out of the inventory if I put them in the inventory. So, I don't know if that's a good idea, putting them in the inventory. I might just want to leave them sitting on the side of the road. We'll see. Sims may extend the house underground within the 8x8 area, which I did. I have this area where it's covering the vehicle, and then I have like a stairway that goes into a basement. So I did actually do that. Business, you may not sell buy mode items. So if you buy something, you can't sell it. And that's what, when it talks about when you lift the security pet or whatever it was, and you're able to buy new beds, and in that one instance, on that one day, you can sell the beds. That's what it's talking about. Your Sims may not use the sell interaction on objects, such as completed paintings or workbench items. You can't sell anything. Your Sims may not hire service Sims of any kind, nor secure the services of the Gypsy Matchmaker or Head Witches. Okay, so even if I lifted culinary and was able to get pizza and Chinese food, I still can't get them until I've also lifted business. Once I lift medical, I should be able to get the different potions that the Gypsy Matchmaker and the Head Witches, or not Head Witches. The Gypsy Matchmaker does sell some of the potions. Well, since I haven't lifted business, I still can't call her over to buy those potions from her. Fortune aspiration perks may not be redeemed. So once I lift business, I'll be able to also get those aspiration perks. Intelligence. Sims may not chat on or answer the phone. Only invite over is allowed. That was the thing that I was confused about. Excuse me. When I was doing the different households in the last rotation, was over whether or not they could indeed use the phone. So they can have a phone, but they can't chat on or answer the phone. But they can invite over. But inviting over is also restricted by military, so it's tricky even inviting somebody over. Sims may not perform any action from the Ask Pi menu that came with Nightlife. I'm not sure. I'm assuming since this is on this list that it's something that isn't restricted already in this rule set that's downloaded. So it's something that I'll just have to be conscious of when I'm speaking to someone, that I'm not allowed to ask them anything. And that's because intelligence, you're like suspicious of everyone. You know what I mean? And people don't want to give out too much information to other people. Everybody's kind of, well, like I said, suspicious. I think it does have, like, in the Apocolypse rules, I think that Pinstar does go over like the reasons for different things. Let me see. Is that one on one of the main? No, it must be from something else. Anyway, if you do want to know the story reasons behind the different restrictions, Pinstar does have those on there. Okay. Sims who are not friends with a member of the household may not enter the house. Now that means, like, okay, say somebody's walking by your house. You can stand there and talk to them outside of your house, but you can't invite them in the house unless somebody in the house is a friend of that person. Proposals to move in may only be offered to the heir intending marriage. Now, in my case, that is kind of tricky because my heir or my main sim, my founder, however you want to call it, he's doing the Immortal Challenge as well. So it will always be Emerus. Every generation, it's Emerus who will be proposing people to move in. So he's the only person, and it will be only if he's intending to marry that person. Sims may not accept blind dates, jobs, or contact numbers from social townies. I believe that I have a mod that stops that, but we'll see. Sims may not hire or befriend service sims. Wow. So that's a third one that is restricting service sims. So I would have to, like, if I wanted to order pizza, I would have to lift culinary. I would have to lift, I believe, business it is, service sims, yeah. And I would also have to lift intelligence just to get that pizza. Sims may not hire employees. Employees are if you have a business or like a home business where you do like yard sales or whatever. Sims may not give gifts, but giving away pets is allowed. So you have your pets have babies, you can, give those puppies away or kittens away to whoever. Sims may not visit community lots alone. They must take a friend or family member along. That's not going to be able to count for my, I have a single sim Valentine in my my homeless challenge. I have no way around that. Sims may not search for UFOs or summon aliens. So even though we have at this point unlocked the knowledge perks, we still can't do that. So the top of the knowledge perk tree is to be able to summon aliens. We still won't be able to do that until we lift intelligence. Popularity aspiration perks may not be redeemed. That's because, like I said, for intelligence, you're kind of worried about the different sims. You're kind of untrusting at that time. Journalism. When sims use the paper to look for a job, they may only select the first of the 3 jobs that appears in the paper that day. If the job listed is taken, already lifted, or not in the tier they're working on, they can look at the second. The paper may not be used at all for any purpose other than recycling, composting, or turning the paper into an airplane. I believe those things are actually restricted in the these different things here, those mods. I could be wrong. Also, I believe at this time I don't even get newspapers delivered, but again, I could be wrong. Sims may not order or read hobby magazines. Sims may not read a book unless it's a novel that has been published by someone in the family. I forgot about that, so I'm glad I just read that thing. So that's one of the reasons why, if you look at my first few chapters, I did have a couple of them working on writing books. So that's why. Now I remember. Sims cannot adopt. Sims may not purchase vacation homes or community lots. Wants and fears may not be locked. Okay, it's law that does the wants and fear lock. Okay, wow, we got a long time to wait before we can do that. That sucks. Sims may not find own place or otherwise move out of the house. That means anybody that's born in the house can't leave. I'm not sure how I'm going to apply that to the Sims outside of the main household. Because in some cases, like, they're going to be marrying Sims from other households. So I think I'm not going to let that one apply to the townie households, the ones that are all living in bunkers. Is there anything else? Sims returning from college must rejoin the household. Okay. Law enforcement. You may not call to report a lost pet or runaway teen. Your Sims may not use the emergency tab on phones. Teenage, child, and elder Sims that have less than a 7 body skill may not leave the lot for any reason, including going to work or community lots. Wow, that sucks. Okay. I mean, I knew it was, that they had to have body skill to go to lots. I didn't realize that it was 7. So that's a lot. Okay. Children can work out to the radio. It's something that's an ability that they can have in Sims 2. But children are also not allowed to do anything that's not fun. And I think, I could be wrong, I think that's why I brought back the ballet bar from university as one of my 3 items. Because I think that the ballet bar might be fun for children. I could be wrong, but I believe that was why I made that decision. Teens may go to college even with body skill under 10 if the other college restrictions have been satisfied. Life of crime. Sims may borrow money from the syndicate, but these loans may not be paid back, thus require daily interest payments until a criminal is lifted. Use the loan jar with an interest at 9% and the payments limited to no more than the interest amount each day. These are just extra rules that are on top of the regular rules. So that's kind of confusing. Here, let's try searching for Life of crime. Oh, okay, it does have a little story for each of them here. I didn't realize. The local organized crime family has taken advantage of the lawlessness of the region to set up a protection racket. These are the syndicate. It's part of something that the syndicate does. Okay, so once per week by midnight, your Sims must pay protection to the mobsters, or in this case, the syndicate. They charge 50% of your lot value, not family value. Going to buy or build, no, blah, blah, blah. No, it says that, but see how it's grayed out? That means it's something that the mod does for us. So the mod automatically calculates for me how much that, payment is going to be that I have to make once a week. That's why I was wondering what day of the week I have the different households on, because I need them all on the same day of the week to make sure they're all billed on that same day. Okay. Natural science. You may not buy or place the composting bin. I'm not applying that to Bramble, who's doing the vault challenge and he's planting some things. You may not order groceries for delivery via the phone or computer. Sims may not collect bugs. Houses must be built on a foundation deck or be built on pillars. You may still have objects on the ground, but walls may not be placed on the ground level. Tents and hammocks are banned. You may not prepare food, or you may, okay, see, this is something that used to be in culinary, but Saijan had recommended that proposed rule, move the 1 meal per day limitation to natural science. It makes more sense to tie this to the inability to grow food. Sims are still limited to preparing only cold food or cooking on the grill, so menu choices are limited. Okay, so that's why, oops, wrong thing. That's why I've moved that to here. Normally, I would be able to make more than 1 meal a day when I left culinary, but I have switched it. So you can only prepare food once a day. Once any Sim has prepared food, no others may do so the rest of the day. A Sim making a 1-serving meal counts. Kids' bottles do not count, or baby bottles or whatever. To reflect protection against the dust storms and poison gases. Okay, now see, this is something that Saijan had as recommended in his rules, and I'm not going to do it. Originally, I was planning to, but I'm not. I had a hard time getting like a bunch of different glasses. The water tool from the landscaping menu may not be used. Shell jewelry may not be bought or worn. Log rolling is not allowed. Politics. If Sims lose employment in a career for any reason, quitting or being fired, they may never take a job in that career again. This cross applies to teenage, adult, and elder careers. Elders may not retire. They must quit if they wish to stop working. I forgot about this one. Oh, it sucks so bad. So if I have a bad chance card and lose my job, even if I'm like at the very like level 9 in the career and just about to lift it, I'm gonna have to take a different career with that sim. They're gonna have to, they're gonna have to quit, but they'll lose the job, through the chance card, and then start another job at level 1. And if they're like late in their life, well, I guess there's nothing I can do. I forgot about that rule. That sucks. Science. The computer is nothing more than a typewriter. Sims may not use non-compost fertilizer. You know what? I don't know what that means because it's been so long since I played that part of the game. I don't know. You may not use the spray command on plants, trees, or roaches. The spray needs to be reinvented. Oh, right. I forgot about that as well. Okay, so the first time that I did the Apocolypse, I had roaches right outside of the door, and my Sims obsessed over those roaches, would not stop going out there stomping roaches. It was horrible. Now, I do have a mod that allows cats to hunt and kill the roaches. So I had this one chapter where it was titled something like, whatever the cat's name was, the bug hunting cat, like all hail the bug hunting cat or something. It was so funny. Or the roach hunting cat. So I think when I get a pet, I'm going to want to get a cat for that reason. And you know what? If it's something that you would feel is against the rules, sorry, but I think that it's okay, having a hunting cat. I mean, I'm allowed sponge baths with this, rule set. Why shouldn't I be allowed a cat that hunts roaches, right? You may not call the exterminator, obviously. This also requires business to hire a service sim. So even if I lifted science, I still wouldn't be able to call an exterminator until I lifted business. Sims who have redeemed knowledge aspiration perks may not summon aliens. So that's 2 different, actually 3. There's education, I believe, lets us lock or redeem knowledge aspiration points. There was another one, was it like natural science, that you can't use the telescope? I can't remember. And now that's also science saying that you can't use the telescope. It's very complicated playing this challenge. I want that down here. Notice I'm kind of losing my voice. Artist. Sims may not display pottery, pot holders, quilts, regents, bug box, hobby plaques, contest ribbons, or magical statues. Sims may not take pictures. Now this is a level 3 restriction. So we would have to, by Fenno's rules, lift all of these things before we could even do, lift these. Adventure. Sims may not go on vacations until a top level adventurer has recovered the charts and flight plans. Athletic. Any item that takes up more than 1 square may not be moved or placed back into inventory once placed on the lot, with one exception. Items received as a day or outing reward may be placed into inventory or moved 1 time, even if they are larger than 1 square. So this is the one that I was saying, if I get that stuff as a date reward, and I put it in my inventory, I'm not going to be allowed to take it back out of the inventory until I lift athletic. There might be another rule that restricts that. I'm not sure. Sims may now restock items or delete out-of-stock items larger than 1 square. Items that have spaces beyond their actual footprint do not count as multiple square items. The single square dresser and single square clothing rack, despite having space requirements around them, only count as a single space item. Sims may not sell bi-mode objects that are larger than 1 square. I think it said that already, didn't it? Sims cannot jump rope because their weak bones won't allow the repeated strain. Sims may not perform the leap in arms or swing around interactions. And I did mention that at one time in one of the videos when the parents were like swinging around the kids, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't think they're allowed to do that. But so yeah, they aren't until we lift athletic. Sims may not open or close the Murphy bed. The punching bag, oh, you know, I took these out of the different rules. I thought I got all of them. You know what? Let's just say a broad rule of nobody may use those career rewards other than the ones that have lifted or earned that reward. Period. Instead of having a rule that's written on every single one. Okay, dance. Sims may not dance at all. Autonomous dancing must be canceled. Sims may not meditate. Stereos may only be used to build body. That means we can't listen to music on the stereo either. Entertainment. Sims may not be directed to perform any action from the Entertain Pie menu. Okay, so we can't like tell jokes and stuff. Sims may not throw parties. Sims may not juggle. Sims with televisions are limited to the Yummy channel, the Workout channel, and the News/Weather channel. Pleasure aspiration perks may not be redeemed. So it'll be a long time before we can redeem any pleasure aspiration perks. Wow. Gamer. Sims cannot use the computer for anything other than write novel or write term paper. Sims can use the phone in the following cases: apply for scholarships or move to college, invite over Sims who live in adjacent properties. If the Sim has a car, they can invite over. So that's the same rules as are in military. Oh, and I put this question mark here. Can I give them a cell phone? I never decided, I guess. Servos may not be activated. I have the, 8 servos already in town. They're already activated. I don't know. Okay. Music. Sims cannot stargaze or watch the clouds. The weather must be changed to winter, 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 winter. Everything outdoors must be covered by a roof or awning. That's why I said, I had gone down. Okay, so like I said, it's a flat roof, and you can put stuff on top of the roof, but you can't use the roof unless it's got an awning over it until music is lifted. Sims may not go on vacation because the weather is too rough to permit flight. See also adventure and slacker. So we would have to lift 3 different restrictions to even go on vacation. Eternal winter, means eternal slow. So use the lot debugger to keep the snow at maximum. This means lots of snow days, so be prepared. That doesn't matter. I'm not sending my kids to school other than university. It's cold outside, so Sims should dress appropriately. Long sleeves, no shorts. Now, that's one of the rules, the suggestions of Saijon's. I decided that my first generation Sims will just keep their clothes that they have, because I didn't want to have to go through, how many Sims do I have? Over 100? I didn't want to have to go through all of them and change their clothes. So, as Sims age up, then I'll start going, for all of that. And I have, some of the ones that have already aged up. paranormal, Sims may not use the wishing well, genie lamp, or voodoo doll, even if they have been brought back from college by the founder. So that would be a really stupid thing for me to bring back from university, since I can only bring back 3 items. Tombstones and urns may be moved, but must. Now, this is a Saigon rule. Completely different rule. Normally, tombstones and urns may not be moved. So wherever a person dies, that's where the tombstone stays. It's a pain. So when I saw that Saigon had a different idea for this, I was like, heck yeah. So in his, it says they cannot be moved. They may be, hold on. Okay, here we go. They must, if I decide to move them, be placed near bedrooms for maximum ghost annoyance. They cannot be moved off the lot or placed in inventory. They must be placed on tables and such to keep them away. But they have to be placed somewhere near the primary sleeping area. It's going to drive us nuts, but it is what it is. Zombies, both playable and townies, cannot be interacted with in a friendly or neutral way. This means no influence, shooing, calling over, or other useful interactions. If a zombie is using something you want to use, you have to use argue or something equivalent to distract them. After paranormal is lifted, and I think, no, this was just part of it. After paranormal is lifted, zombies can be interacted with normally, but all playable zombies must be placed in the townie pool. I don't have any playable zombies. I don't plan on having any playable zombies, but I guess we'll see. When lifted, zombies can now be interacted with, but even playable zombies cannot be directly controlled. Why is it calling it a playable zombie? If there's some, I don't know. I guess if it's in your household, they would always have to be autonomous. I think that's what it's saying. Slacker. Sims may not go on vacation days. Sims may not go on vacation. Sims may not perform influence actions. You may not call the garden club. Now, you might think, well, why would you be gardening? Well, there's the thing that cures the plant Sims. That's how you get it, is by calling garden club. Sims may not redeem work perks. So, that's another of the perk trees. So you have like the needs perks, work perks, the perks for your primary aspiration, and the perks for your secondary aspiration. So they're saying you can't redeem those. Okay. Sims may not throw parties of any kind. Sims may not have outings, casual or scored. Sims may not go on scored dates. Oh, that sucks. No dates. I love dates. Ugh, that's fine. Show business. Sims may not purchase perfume or the love potion 8.5. Sims may not redeem romance aspiration perks. The Diva and Mr. Big NPCs may not be moved into the house for any reason. Sims may change their appearance, but only to make them look more ragged. Men with, okay, this might be something that was a Saigon rule. It also might be something that I had just decided myself. Men with less than 8 neat should have stubble, and women with, that's less than 8, right? Outgoing should have no makeup. Sloppy or simple hairstyles are encouraged. Showbiz pet. Children and teenagers may not build skill with objects that do not raise fun. Now, remember I was saying that kids technically can use the radio to work out, but I can't do it. This is the rule that, this is why. Because they can't use the radio, they don't gain any fun from the radio. I think only one, it's like kids with less, like 2 serious points or less actually have fun studying. Oh, I've got it right here. No, kids with 2 points or less seriousness will have fun studying. That's so funny. Although they may study skills that are not fun if it satisfies a want or and I believe that this was a rule that I personally decided. I could be wrong. But, so they can't do anything that doesn't raise fun. But if they're like, I want to raise such and such skill, I decided that they could. I'm pretty sure that was something I made. Okay, so these are other notes that Saijan had made that I decided to put in this just for my personal, so I remember. The game starts with 2 founders in college. After graduation, give them the usual $20K. I ended up, the house costed more than I had, so I had to get one of those loans that it was mentioned earlier from the syndicate, and it's like with the loan jar. They start in a normal lot, yeah, whatever. As soon as the careers are entered, okay. We already started that, so there's no point in going over that. No more than, this is completely different than anything else, and I'm kind of worried about it, but we'll see how it goes. I might decide not to keep this restriction, I don't know. No more than one restriction can be lifted every 10 days, including pet jobs, hopelessness, and alien technology. I didn't even see the rules for alien technology here. Oh, this is the mods. Hold on. And it might be just that alien... Okay, tech... Science... Adventure... I don't know. There should be another restriction set for alien technology. I am confused. Huh. I don't know. I will have to do a little more research. I don't want to take up too much time in this video trying to find it. But I'll either tack it on to the end of this video when I find it, or maybe I'll just leave it written in the description or something. I'm kind of confused though. You'll have to keep track of this manually. So I have already added to my Apocolypse spreadsheet a page that I'll be able to keep track of how many tokens I've earned to go towards these. So on day 1, you will get what I call a token. This may be saved as long as you like, or can be spent to permanently buy off a restriction once all the other requirements of this restriction may be met. So by the time I lift my first career, I'll have enough tokens to lift, that career and hopelessness. You get another token on day 11, then a third on day 21, and so on. Note that if you don't have a token when a restriction has been satisfied, you merely suppress it. So, for example, if someone reaches the top of the culinary career, your Sims can eat normal meals. However, if that person dies or loses the culinary job before the next token, that restriction cannot be lifted until someone gets to the top of the culinary career again. Like I said, I don't know if I want to follow that or not. We'll see how it goes. It might be fun. It also might really annoy me. Each day there is a 100% chance of a random townie death. Now this says 100% chance. At some point, I don't know. I'm confused about that because currently it's like at 85% in my rolls. And I can't remember why I decided to do that. But it will be within like 5 or so rotations at 100% random townie death. That drops with each of the 25 restrictions until it reaches 20%. So it drops 80% or just 3% per restriction lifted. And it says the cause of death is random. I'm making like everybody is, I usually just kill everybody by old age. It's the easiest way, but we'll see. Otherwise they should be not killed. They should be dying from, sickness, For purposes of this mod, vampires are just intelligent zombies, and when he says mod, he means modified rules. Vampires are just intelligent zombies with photosensitivity. They can be interacted with unlike normal zombies, but vampires aren't allowed to bite people and spread the condition. Now, I did that once by accident, and I'm ignoring this rule because I didn't even realize that. The only way to be a vampire is to get lucky when you die. Each house must be played one day in rotation. Each university property must be played for 1 academic year per game day. And Saigon has does it have, is it written here? No, those are the links to the rules. He does have a changed a mod that changes the way university is. I'm pretty sure it's Saigon. Okay, New Hope's Challenge. This is another challenge that I'm adding the rules to the Apocolypse Challenge. Now, the New Hope's Challenge had the potential to be 2 good challenges, but instead the author, and I apologize, Peanut Butter, if you watch this, they put 2 what I feel completely unrelated challenges together. So I'm following the daily roles and stuff. I'm not following like the career achievements and different things like that. But like here is the different Apocolypse. Okay, I am following the career achievements. Sorry, but these are the different Apocolypse type things that are lifted by that. Like I said, there's the daily rules. So as I age up the kids now, when I go into their households and age them up, I have to do these roles. So, I'm not going to show like the exact roles because I think I need to edit them. Yeah. Now, this part, if your sim has 3 death marks, they must die. I'm not following that. Okay, so anyway, sorry if you heard that extremely loud car driving by my house. My gosh. Career achievements. So when I lift medical, if a sim fails a dice roll, one of these dice rolls, you can re-roll the dice. So there's just different things that the Sims can do, and it all goes by these rules up here. You know, you do the daily rolls for the kids and everybody as they age up. Obviously, I'm not going to do anything for elders, at least not at this time. Okay, and this is just some extra stuff that I had made. This stuff I had taken off of different things, probably Mod The Sims since it's got a black background, that I was just making some notes. Okay, so and also I do have this note here that should have been added to Service Pet. Until Service Pet is lifted, all elders must go to the asylum. So yeah. So those are the different rules for the Apocolypse Challenge that I'm going to be following. There are more rules written on this page here by Fenno, but like I said, anything that's in gray isn't listed on here, because it's something that the mods automatically do. So like your Sims may not start their own business. I didn't have that listed on there because I can't start my own business until I pull out that mod, you know. I hope that makes sense to you. So like this, the journalism career reward may not be used or unlocked. Sims may not find own place or otherwise move out of the house. So since it's in gray, I don't even have that option to do so. Your Sims may not purchase smoke detectors, fire sprinklers, burglar alarms, or car alarms. Those are things that I don't even see when I open my catalog. I won't see that until I take out the law enforcement package file. And here, let me I am totally losing my voice doing this. Okay. Sims 2 mods, Apocolypse mods, is this it? Apoco tier restrictions. Okay. Hopefully you can see that okay. Alright, so these are the different ones that, if you went to that website and you downloaded it on Mod The Sims, like say here, this is the career locker for the gamer career. This is the one for the entertainment, dance, athletic. So once I lift that career, like I had used the example just now of not being able to buy the smoke alarms. Once I lift the law enforcement career, I would pull out that package for law enforcement, and then those items would now be purchasable by me. Another part of the thing that I don't think I mentioned very well was that as you start a different career, is it as you start the career? I believe so. As you start the career, you can add a lot for each career. Let's see. This is like for medical, you can add like a hospital to your town. At military, like I have, I turned a store into a military base. So, you know, you can add different lots for the different jobs so that they, you know, in your mind, they're actually going somewhere when they're walking off the lot or taking their carpool to the lot, or even driving their own car, whatever. When they're leaving to go, that's what it is. Okay, aspirations may not be changed, but secondary aspirations may be selected on team birthday. Yeah, see, we're trying to lift education right away. Now, the funny thing is, when I was just reading over all of this, I don't see where I had decided that I'm going to let the kids go to school. Because I had said, I'm gonna, when we lift education, I'm gonna let them go to college. But I feel like the parents are still gonna be too worried to let their kids go to actual school. And I can't remember which restriction it was that I had decided would allow them to start going back to school. If it was intelligence, because when they lift intelligence, they'll start trusting people again. I'm not sure. I didn't put it in the rules, so I guess we'll find out. I'll try to figure that out. What was the other thing that I was going to look up? I cannot even remember. All right. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this extremely long, because I'm just looking at the recording time. Holy moly, extremely long video, and I apologize for how long it is. I have said this is a lot of rules. My gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna go drink something and relieve the in fact, I'm losing my voice from talking so much. All right, thanks for watching if you actually got this far. Bye. So I'm back. I did a little bit of research. Remember I had said that in Saijon's rules, it mentions the alien technology restrictions. And it doesn't say anything in Feno's rules about alien technology. Well, I looked up on Pinstar's website what alien technology is, and the restriction is that Sims may not purchase any aspiration reward objects. That's like the potion of life or whatever it's called in Sims 2. the ways that you lift it is to get abducted by aliens, or also get a satellite and take it to the science lab if you have a top researcher or med scientist. I can only assume that Fenno decided not to have this rule at all, because it is not mentioned. I've searched the entire thread, everything. It is not mentioned anywhere on there. So I'm not sure about that rule at all. But we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I did say that I would tack it on to the end if I figured out what it was. So there we go. Hi, it's me again, adding yet another thing onto the video. Sorry, I know it's long enough already, but I did want to mention or clarify every single thing in this video, just in case somebody is watching the video and not the actual Apocolypse playthrough that I'm doing. And it's law enforcement that I had decided that has to be lifted before kids can go to school, because here it says children may not leave the lot for any reason without going with either two adults, an adult and a teen, or an adult and a controllable elder. So that's I believe the restriction that I felt needed to be lifted before they can go to school again. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the one that I had decided on. All right, I'm really stopping now, I promise. So if you actually got this far, wow, thank you. All right, have a good day.